Alright everybody, so today we're talking about writing linear equations in standard form. So just to recap, what does standard form look like? It looks like ax plus by is equal to c. A, b, and c all have to be integers. Okay, what does that mean? It means no fractions or decimals. So that's what it means for something to be an integer. It's okay for them to be negative, except a is always positive. Okay, so a is one that we need to make sure is always a positive value. So we now know three different forms for writing the equation of a line. The first one being point-slope form, which is the one we've just talked about. So point-slope form is going to be y minus, and then I'm going to make the point y1 is equal to the slope, which is m, so m times x minus x1. And that was our point-slope form. Next we have slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to m x plus b. And then lastly, we have this standard form, which is ax plus by is equal to c. So those are our three different forms for writing the equation of a line. So let's talk about what we need in order to write each form of a linear equation. For point-slope, you specifically need a point, which in this case I called that point x1, y1. You also need a slope, which we've been talking about the slope as m. All right, and then what do we normally use this form for? So we write this when given, when given these two things. Right, when you're given a point and you're given a slope. On the other hand, for slope-intercept form, the two things we need are a slope, which again, the slope is still m, which is why I kept it the same color. And then you also need a y-intercept, which in the equation is the b value. So when we're converting to slope-intercept form, so we're going to say when converting to slope-intercept form, you solve for y. Okay, and then lastly, we have our standard form. So the things we need here, we need a, b, and c to be integers. Not inters, integers. Which means no fractions or decimals. We need a to be positive. A must be positive. X and y must be on the same side. And then, is there anything else that we need to say about that? Integers, a must be positive, x and y must be on the same side. Nope, that's it. So these are the three things that need to be true to be in standard form. So let's do some examples. Let's do a review question first. So it says, convert 8x minus 12y equals 24 into slope-intercept form. So this is going from standard form to slope-intercept. Remember, for slope-intercept, you're always just solving for y. So the first thing, I'm going to rewrite this. The first thing you want to do is subtract 8x from both sides, because we need to get y by itself. So we're going to go negative 12y is equal to negative 8x plus 24. And then we're going to take everything and divide it by negative 12. And that would get y by itself. The negatives would cancel out, so it's positive. 4 is the biggest number that comes out of 8 and 12, so we can divide both of them by 4, which would give us 2 over 3x. 24 divided by negative 12 would be negative 2. So you get the equation y equals 2/3 x minus 2 when you write this in slope-intercept form. The past 2 days, we've been converting from point-slope form into slope-intercept form. So here's review question number 2. It says you have a line with a slope of -6 and a point 1, -5. Use point-slope form to convert the equation of this line into slope-intercept form. So our point is x1 comma y1. Our slope is -6. So we're going to say y minus -5 is equal to -6 times x minus 1. So this would be y plus 5. We could distribute the -6 into the question, so -6x plus 6. And then to get y by itself, we're just going to subtract that 5 from both sides, and you get y is equal to -6x plus 1. Awesome. Example number 2 says, now that we have this in slope-intercept form, convert the equation to standard form. Use the checklist to the right to guarantee this equation is in standard form. So to convert to standard form, we need to make sure we get the x and y together. So if we're doing this, we're going to say y is equal to -6x plus 1. We need to add the 6x over to the other side. That's going to give us 6x plus y is equal to 1. In standard form, I forgot to mention this, but the x always has to be in front. Okay, so because it's plus 6, we just keep it as a positive 6 here, but we don't write the positive part. Okay, and then to me, this looks like it's in standard form, so let's double check. X and y are on the same side, check. X comes before y, check. There are no decimals or fractions, check. The a value is positive. Yep, so the a value in this case is 6, so that would be a positive number. So we're good. 6x plus y equals 1 would be standard form for that line. All right, example number 3. It says convert the equation y equals -1/3. Whoops, forgot the x right there. -1/3 x plus 4 into standard form. So to go to standard form, we're going to need to add that 1/3 x to the other side. And then we're going to have to put it in the front. So it's going to be 1/3 x plus y is equal to 4. All right, and in our checklist here, it says there can't be any decimals or fractions right here. And currently we have a fraction. So the way to get rid of a fraction would be to multiply the entire thing by whatever's in the bottom of the fraction. So I'm going to multiply everything by 3. And that would distribute the 3 to all of these. So 3 times 1/3 equals 3/3, which is just 1. So that's going to become x. 3 times y is plus 3y. And then 3 times 4 gives us 12. So now x and y are on the same side. X does indeed come before y. There are no more decimals or fractions because we just got rid of them. And the a value is positive. All right, so then we would be all good. That is standard form for that equation. Example number 4 says convert the equation y plus 5 equals 7/5 x plus 5 into standard form. So this one looks kind of a little bit harder, maybe more involved. The first thing I would want to do here is in point slope form, I'm going to distribute the 7/5 so that we can get rid of those parentheses. So you get y plus 5 is equal to 7/5 x plus, and then 7/5 times 5 is going to have the 5's cancel, and you just get 7. So plus 7. And then from here, we need to get all of the numbers without variables to one side and all the numbers with variables to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. That would give us y equals 7/5 x plus 2. And now I need to get the x to the other side, so I'm going to subtract 7/5 from both sides. And now we have -7/5 x plus y, because this is positive y, it's plus, is equal to positive 2. So now we have x and y on the same side. We made sure our x comes before y. For these last two, though, we still have a fraction, and then our a value in this case is not positive. So we're going to do both of those things in one fell swoop. If we take the whole thing and multiply it by 5, that would get rid of the fraction. If we multiply it by -5, then this negative would become positive. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply the whole thing by -5. So each of these gets multiplied by -5, which is then going to give us positive 7x minus 5y is equal to -10. All right, and we know that that's 7x because -7/5 times -5, the negatives cancel, the 5's would cancel, and you would just be left with 7. Sweet, so that one is definitely a lot more involved, right? Think of all the extra steps we had to do there. But after that, we made sure there are no more decimals, and a is now positive 7. All right, last example for these notes today. It says convert the equation y plus 0 equals 1/2 x plus 7 into standard form. So in order to do this, y plus 0 is just going to be y, so we'll just rewrite that as y. Let's distribute this 1/2 as well. So we're going to go 1/2 x plus 7/2. Okay. And then we need to get all the x's together, so I'm subtracting 1/2 x from both sides. So that's negative 1/2 x plus y is equal to 7/2. So x and y are on the same side. X does indeed come before y because we wrote it like that. All right, and then there are no decimals or fractions, or the a value is positive. So we need to change both of those things, right? The only number that we have in a denominator is 2, so we can definitely multiply by 2 and get rid of the fractions. So if we multiply everything by 2, that would still leave a negative on the front, so we need to multiply by -2. So multiply by -2, multiply by -2, multiply by -2. So that's going to give us -2 times 1/2. -1/2 is just equal to 1. So that's going to be x minus 2y is equal to, and that's positive 7. So that's going to be -7, right? And then there would be our answer. So it's kind of getting important to make sure we know how to multiply fractions by whole numbers. So if you're never remembering, just write -2 over 1 and then multiply by -7/2. What you're going to do here is you multiply the top things together, you multiply the bottom things together. So that would be positive 14 over 2, which positive 14, it's not -7, it's positive 7. So then -14 over 2, which it does in fact give you -7. All right, so multiplying fractions becomes super important here. If you're having struggles with that, let me know, and we can work through a couple multiplying fractions together. All right, so this is writing standard form from both point-slope form and slope-intercept form. If you guys have any questions, message me on Canvas or ask in class today. I'd love to answer them. All right, have a great day, you guys.